gonna tear down the Empire from the inside out.
Hello folks, hope you're all fantastic. We're back with another marvelous video, and on today's menu is a rundown on a much anticipated series, The Penguin, all set to release this year on HBO Max. Matt Reeves kickstarted his iteration of the DC universe with the hit 2022 movie The Batman, which became a fan favorite in a very short time. Needless to say, DC enthusiasts are hungry for more content, and while the sequel to the movie is scheduled to release late in 2025, for now fans are expecting big things from Max's latest announced TV show. And it's pretty obvious the limited series will shine a light on the rise of Oswald the Penguin Cobblepot within the criminal underworld and Gotham City. Amidst all the excitement to see one of the Cape Crusaders' biggest nemesis on television, there's also some news that has made fans go overboard. Industry insider Jeff Snyder has hinted that Robert Pattinson, who played the Dark Knight in Matt Reeves' The Batman 2022, is very likely to return and reprise his role. As such, fans' expectations from any media that deals with the enemies of Batman are always very high, courtesy of Christopher Nolan's Joker. In the Batman universe, the villains always have a key role to play and are written in a very complex manner, which adds to their overall appeal among fans. Colin Farrell has already done a pretty promising job of playing Oswald Cobblepot in Matt Reeves' movie, so a spin-off solely focused on his character is certainly the one to beat. Let us dive into, without further ado, and talk about what the show will be like, whether it is actually a part of DCU, and of course, whether we will see the Dark Knight in it. But before we go to explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
I can already see. Things will get worse before they get better.
What is the Penguin TV series all about? After the critical and commercial success of The Batman, HBO commissioned The Penguin in early 2022. The limited series will take off directly from the ending of the aforementioned movie and will mostly mirror the rise of Oswald Cobblepot to the zenith of Gotham's criminal underworld. The ending of the movie opened up considerable paths for the character to start exerting his influence in Gotham. As such, the character of the Penguin is believed to be crucial to the long-term plans that Matt Reeves has for his Batman universe. Colin Farrell was announced as the first cast member and would continue playing the Penguin. Therefore, fans are likely to get the perspective from the villain's eyes this time, as he makes his way into becoming one of the Dark Knight's most powerful opponents. The teaser and second trailer for the show provides some important insight into the events that will be featured. There is a lot of similarity to the comic series Batman No Man's Land, as the Penguin will largely feature different villains trying to take control of a somewhat destroyed Gotham City. Matt Reeves has always been pretty steadfast in the view that the DC comics play a very central role when cinematic adaptations are made, so it can be assumed in part that the events of the comics might feature heavily in the limited series. The show, after all, aims to portray the life of Oswald, and it is largely going to be set around the streets of Gotham, where he will try to get closer to his final ambitions as the Penguin by using his strategic thinking. The show will be an opportunity to show his character in depth with lots of turnarounds and new characters that will all ultimately bow to his will. Reeves has mentioned that the show will be the Penguin's Scarface moment, where he will snatch power right out of the hands of others when they least expect him to. Matt Reeves and Dylan Clark are both going to serve as executive producers for the limited series, and Lauren LaFranc, best known for her previous work on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., has been announced as a writer, showrunner, and creator. In an interview with Variety, the chairman and CEO of HBO and Max announced that The Penguin is set to premiere in September 2024 with 8 episodes. DC's first universe release, Creature Commandos, is also set to release just a few months later. However, The Penguin is said to be Max's next big thing after House of the Dragon, which premiered in June 2024. Considering how popular Game of Thrones was and the hype surrounding its prequel, it speaks to a lot of promise regarding the Penguin, not just for the popularity it will garner, but also for how it will play into the Batman universe. The Batman portrayed the downfall of Carmine Falcone, who was the reigning criminal lord of Gotham. Christine Milioti from the hit sitcom How I Met Your Mother has been cast as Sophia Falcone, the erstwhile crime lord's daughter. While the movie portrayed him differently than the comics in certain ways, he was still very much the greedy, villainous man, and it is expected that his daughter will not be anything less. Her character would play the primary antagonist to the Penguin's villain and thwart his attempts to take over the reins of the crime world. But we all know the Batman universe has a keen eye for the uncertain, so she might also end up becoming an ally of Oswald Cobblepot. Moreover, Michael will be playing the role of Alberto Falcone, Carmine's son. All these characters mainly point towards a dark power struggle to fill the role left behind by the previous crime boss. Matt Reeves has not been vocal about which comics and stories he has been inspired by, both for the long-term story of his Batman universe as well as for the Penguin. Therefore, it is not known which characters will be making an appearance in the limited series and what their roles will do to further add to the plot of the sequel of Reeves' Batman movie. Many other notable actors such as Deirdre O'Connell, Shore Agdashlu, James Matteo, Mark Strong, and Theo Rossi, among others, have been announced to play significant roles. Is it connected to Elseworlds? Under the banner of James Gunn and Peter Safran, the DC movie and TV universe is seeing a significant unification. DC is notorious for exploring alternate versions of its characters and events. Elseworlds is a line of comics set outside the main continuity of the DC universe. Mainly, it was created so that writers could explore alternate versions of their characters without having to stick to the confines of continuity. This strategic decision allowed for exploration and creative freedom of the DC universe and its characters as a whole. This concept has been adapted, most notably in the 2018 crossover where 3 shows from the DC Comics on CW, Arrow, Supergirl, and The Flash, saw characters from each show swap identities to fight a powerful new threat. James Gunn has informed fans of the Elseworlds branding on upcoming DC-based releases as well. Basically, any subsequent projects that deals with DC characters but explores a story that is outside the actual on-screen storyline will be under the Elseworlds tag. This way, fans will be able to explore different stories of the DC heroes while maintaining one main storyline. Therefore, anything that does not fit into the actual DCU continuity will be known by the name DC Elseworlds. Gunn has mentioned that the Batman Part 2 and Joker, Folie à Deux will now be under Elseworlds, as will the animated series Teen Titans Go. Hence, it can be assumed that the Batman 2022 and all its components and spin-offs, which include the Penguin, will be part of Elseworlds. As such, no existing DCU characters will make an appearance in this, which means there will be no crossovers with Joker, Justice League, or anything under DC that is linked to Gotham City. The mainstream DC universe will not be affected by the events in these projects, which will mostly be standalone.
Whoa! Take it easy, sweetheart. You looking for me?
Will Robert Pattinson reprise his role in Penguin TV series? Coming to one of the aspects of the Penguin fans are most excited about, it can be assumed that Robert Pattinson will feature in the show, at least in a guest role. Note that his name has not been mentioned anywhere in the cast, which raises significant speculation about the issue. Until now, news of Pattinson's appearance has mostly been a rumor, although it has been substantiated by many different insiders. Moreover, fans are questioning whether the actor will show up as Bruce Wayne or whether he will be seen all suited up as the Dark Knight. While Colin Farrell can certainly carry the show on its own, given his gritty performance as Oswald Cobblepot in The Batman, anything that involves the Caped Crusader or his enemies for that matter remains somewhat incomplete without an appearance from him, right? Some fans had theorized that due to legal reasons, Pattinson could not appear as Batman and could only show up as Bruce Wayne, but then this has been discredited by James Gunn too. For the most part, the details about the show have been kept under wraps, with the trailers revealing very few Easter eggs. There has been no mention and of course no appearance of Batman in the most recent trailer either. It can be assumed that the tone and approach of the show will be similar to that of the Batman, but at the same time, it could also not be the case. At the end of the film, Batman's beliefs undergo a certain change when he sees that his vengeance ultimately affects Gotham in the long run and that he feels he needs to also have hope for the future. Matt Reeves has mentioned that in the sequel, he wants to explore the emotions of Bruce Wayne more explicitly, and also that the second installment will feature Bruce Wayne more than Batman. This might be a sign that Bruce's character development will be in focus, and since his mindset is slowly changing from mindless vengeance to having hope, his identities as Bruce Wayne and Batman may also be revamped slightly. The Penguin TV series can be a starting point to explore this change, and it will be obviously only work if Pattinson is to reprise his role in the show, or it could be a more direct encounter where Batman and the Penguin lock horns in confrontation. After all, it would be somewhat of a letdown if Batman is not seen at all in the series. It is his city, after all, that the host of villains are trying to take over.
Fancy. But it was a gesture.
Marvelous verdict. That's it for today, folks. I know you've been waiting patiently for the Penguin to drop, and believe me, I have been too. As mentioned, the villains in the Batman universe are written so well that it makes sense for most of the heinous ones to have shows about themselves. The Penguin is undoubtedly one of the most troubling criminals that Batman has had to deal with, and who has even managed to fool the protector of Gotham City on multiple occasions. Moreover, the way Colin Farrell had portrayed a character in The Batman certainly raised expectations by a considerable degree. and now we have fans even rooting for the Penguin to become the next big criminal in Gotham. It is expected that the limited series will feature a violent struggle for power among many different villains, each vying for the top position. It has also been hinted that Batman might himself have a scene or two in the show, and Robert Pattinson's return is much anticipated. Overall, it will be very interesting to see how the show explores the character of the Penguin and sets the stage for the Batman Part 2, set to premiere in 2025. The success of the show will also be a testament to show how well James Gunn's idea of the Elseworlds concept will play into future projects. If you like the content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.